Welcome to episode 57,
Hands.
part 4. Let's start off as we
tasty.
talk.
So tasty.
Let's start off as we talk about the number 2 wrestler who Hulk Hogan refused to lose
Walk white.
against.
Since he's eating a police officer special. We love the police. No hate mail. This is not Baltimore. We love the police.
Yeah, we do.
That's right. The Popo is our hero. Anyway, number 2. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That man right there.
That guy. That guy. And the Immortal Hulk Hogan are simply the 2 biggest names in pro wrestling history. Like them or not, there's no getting around that fact. Still, as with the Flair and Hogan point, with great success comes great ego and great self-worth, which is often well-earned, but also can prove a bit of a sticking point when it comes to doing business.
Hold on for a second.
Tell me all about it.
Now, we know we talked about more Hogan and Flair on the ego thing.
We have.
This, I believe, is ego.
Ego. Despite many suggestions otherwise, Austin and Hogan do not have any real-life heat, and by all accounts, never really have. It's just both men are very proud of what they've done in the wrestling business, and both see themselves as the guy.
That's true.
While some of Austin's ECW promos poked fun at Hogan, the former Stunning Steve's main object of his anger was Eric Bischoff and some of the WCW hierarchy. During his WCW run, Austin had gotten to the point where he had the U.S. Championship.
He did.
He did have the U.S. Championship, and he was a television champion, I believe.
Yes, he was.
And a tag team champion.
Yep.
Every belt except for one. And was being lined up for a feud over Ric Flair's world title.
Wow. Stunning Steve Austin. Nature Boy Ric Flair. World Heavyweight Championship.
Money.
I'd like to see it.
Flair himself wanted to do an angle with Austin and even wanted to drop the belt to the future Stone Cold if some stories are to be believed. That plan was completely nixed once Hogan joined the company, with Hogan going straight to the front of the line.
He did.
For Flair's gold. Austin would end up sticking around the U.S. title level before getting injured and released.
That's facts.
While Hogan was the centerpiece of the NWO, Austin was tearing it up as the Texas Rattlesnake during the Attitude Era. The chance of the two ever meeting in the ring seemed near impossible until WCW went out of business and was purchased by Vince McMahon.
Mr. McMahon.
And then came WrestleMania 18.
It's there, folks. WrestleMania.
Exactly. Just like how they dropped the ball with Hogan versus Flair at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And the chance to pit the two against each other, Hogan wanted Austin at WrestleMania 18, but Austin didn't want to do the match. Austin has admitted in interviews, including on Jim Ross's Ross Report podcast, that he turned down the Hogan match at WrestleMania 18. While he was unsure on whether Hogan could actually perform to Austin's high in-ring level.
That's one of the...
Yeah, you're old, man.
I didn't want to have the match because I didn't want to be embarrassed with you because you couldn't wrestle.
Stone Cold's main gripe is that Hogan had made it clear to Vince that he was going to be the one to go over in the match, which is something that irked the bionic redneck. And so WrestleMania 18 would instead see Hogan have a legendary encounter with The Rock and Austin defeating Scott Hall in a decent, not so spectacular match.
Yeah. It is true.
As well as the WrestleMania 18 situation, some stories claim that Hogan also pushed the idea of an Austin match in a late 2005, early 2006, but that the Rattlesnake shut this down after seeing the whole debacle around Hogan's angle and match with Shawn Michaels that culminated at SummerSlam 2005. Austin's belief was that Hogan would manipulate the angle to ultimately put himself over at Austin's expense. Hogan still to this day keeps clamoring for a match with Steve Austin, and Austin regularly debunks the notion, despite Hogan recently calling him out as a coward in several interviews. Hogan is Hogan,
Hogan is Hogan.
Hogan is Hogan, though, and so we will keep calling for another big payday so long as there's even the slightest chance that Austin can wrestle one more match. As ever with the two huge stars, Hogan and Austin seem like a classic case of two icons of their profession who just refuse to back down. In this case, to put the other one over in fear of losing face or tarnishing their legacy. And I will say, pause, put the brakes on the train. Because here's the thing. If Austin wanted to win, he got his win over Hall. Scott Hall. Hogan, they're making it sound like Hogan wanted to beat Austin.
Right.
If Hogan wanted to win at WrestleMania, why didn't he beat The Rock?
That's true.
So that part doesn't make any sense to me. Did Austin think that their two styles would not mesh well and beating Hogan really wouldn't help him? Or did Hogan say, I'll lose to The Rock, but I won't lose to Austin?
Could be.
Could be a little bit of both, but it sounds like to me
Because
both egos.
Who is the man who saved WWE?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Who would you want to be? The man who saved WWE or just The Rock?
Right.
Top star.
Right.
Which one is a bigger feather in your cap?
I think beating either one of them at that point in that
Yes,
time.
which one is bigger? The man who took down the company you were leading. You
True.
were head of. You were the main guy of WCW.
True.
Why do I want to beat The Rock? It's good beating The Rock. But we'll have a match another time, you know. I'll give the kid his due.
Right. Which they did have matches later
want to
on.
beat the man who pretty much beat me.
Right.
Cost me my company.
Right.
I think Austin's a better one.
Austin would be the bigger win. I think it's one of those that...
Oh, yes, you remember Hogan losing to Rock.
Yes.
But you would definitely never forget Hogan beating Austin.
But would you ever forget Austin beating Hogan? But
no, you wouldn't.
Here's
But he's already pretty much done that by by beating WCW.
Hogan needed to beat Austin to cement a bigger legacy.
Oh, yes.
Austin did not need to beat Hogan. Hogan was the biggest draw of the 80s, early 90s. And while Hogan was a big draw longer, Austin was a big draw for a shorter amount of time. But if you look at the numbers, you look at the pay-per-view buy rates, you look at the merchandise sales, you look at the TV ratings, Austin was a bigger and better draw than Hogan. And that may eat away at Hogan. And maybe that's why Hogan wanted to beat Austin. But I could also see in the late 2005, early 2006, why Stone Cold would say, no go on your match, because he took creative control and ruined the whole thing with Shawn.
Oh, yeah, because Shawn, when Shawn oversold everything.
Right, to make him look like it, to make Hogan look like an idiot.
Exactly.
To make the match look bad, because they did not go by the plan. It almost, okay, yes, he has creative control, but is that not another situation where how they always famously talk about Warrior held up held up Vince for more money? By Hogan taking the storyline and saying, yeah, that's what we're going to do, that sounds like a great idea, and then going into it and saying, never mind.
I'll lay down for you.
Yeah, I can't do another match, my leg hurts.
Yeah. Oh, I got this win off of you. Oh, I'll get the first one. It'll be real good. And the second time we were at, the gate will be huge. People will want to.
They want to see the rematch. So is he not really? Is that not another way that maybe Hogan held up the WWE and Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels? He kind of held them up to stroke his own ego. So yeah, if I was Austin, I wouldn't want to deal with that part of it.
No.
But
people are thinking, wait a minute now. Did we just see that Austin's going to be at WrestleMania 32? Did we see Hogan say he wants to have one more match at WrestleMania 32? Could we have Austin Hogan at the biggest? Pretty much, that's going to be the biggest.
It's going to be
the biggest WrestleMania. Could we have that? We could. Do you want to see it? I don't. I'm sorry. Way past your primes.
But both of them are past the prime.
I do not want to see. I don't want to see Austin have a match now.
No.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But now? No, it's so embarrassing to see Austin out there, and especially to see Hogan out there.
Right.
I'm sorry. You're done.
Right.
Don't take the spotlight off anybody coming up.
Yep.
No, let's don't say it. But yeah,
I mean, I like the part-timer people coming back. I like, the Brock Lesnar's and the Jerichos and the RVDs and things of that nature. But they can still go. They're still young enough to be moving around. Austin, with his knees and his neck the way they are, it's a gamble. And with Hogan having, 9, 10 back surgeries?
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom in a row?
Do you want to see that old man drop a leg on Austin? Or miss as Austin slowly rolls out of the way?
Right.
No. Let's don't have that. I mean, have them there, yes. Let's celebrate their careers at WrestleMania 32. Let's use their names to draw in fans to buy WrestleMania 32. But a match, hell no.
Austin doing his usual special guest referee spot?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Let's have Austin be a centerpiece of 2 young guys.
Right.
Let's have his name draw you in to see 2 future stars.
Kind of like how they did Ambrose and Rollins in the Hell in a Cell, and they used Foley to put it over.
Yes.
That's how you use Austin. That's how you use Hogan. They do not need to wrestle.
Hogan doesn't even get in the ring to try any wrestling moves at all. Same as Flair.
Right.
Flair, give it up. Just use your name. Use your status. Use your mind.
Which,
if you're left.
WWE does that well with them. WWE does that well with Hogan and with Flair. I mean, doing the whole panel thing where they ask them questions. So that's fine and that's dandy. You still get their name out there. They still get the Legends deal where they get paid.
Did you see when Brett came out to introduce Sami Zayn against John Cena?
Right.
Did you see it?
I saw the video.
Did you feel uncomfortable as I did? I don't know if he's supposed to skip over his lines and re-say them again because he was lost in place, but it just didn't feel, it made me feel uncomfortable.
I saw where he was about to say Sami Zayn's name and he turned and looked at John. He was like, oh, okay. And he just kept going. It's like, why did he turn around and look at John like he was about to say it?
It made me feel very uncomfortable.
I mean, he did have the strokes and stuff. I mean, you can't help that,
And see, that's another one. Brett, name recognition.
Right.
Yes. Wrestling? No.
Did we need Brett versus Vince McMahon at WrestleMania?
No. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. How many stars was that match everybody complained about? So, yes. Love them being at WrestleMania. I want all the big names to come in.
A Vince McMahon in a corner, and a Bret Hart in a corner, and then Bret could stop Vince from interfering or beat him up on their back outside like they did Donald Trump beating up Vince McMahon.
Right.
Fine and dandy. But a full-fledged match? Absolutely not. That's like Michael Cole versus Jerry Lawler.
No.
Jerry Lawler, yes, he deserved a WrestleMania moment after all the years he put in the business, but against Michael Cole, and then
so many years
technically didn't even win the match.
I know.
To me, it ruined the whole thing. Even having Austin in there. And
how many years before was he with the WWE? He never,
Right.
When he was a wrestler more than a commentator.
Right.
You could never slide him into a WrestleMania match.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they did the feud with Bret Hart and things of that nature, but they never really gave him his just due.
I know. Hey, the Kiss My Foot match should have been for WrestleMania against Bret. But that's what Austin and Hogan, big names, biggest names in the company, biggest names in the world of wrestling. But a match.
There's dream matches in the world and that we've seen, and there's dream matches that we will never see, and that's for a reason. We will never see. I'll mark it down now. We will never see Sting versus Shawn Michaels.
Nope.
Because Shawn Michaels is pretty adamant about not wrestling again. I get it. That's fine. That's wonderful.
Now I can super kick you every once in a while.
Right.
Have a match? Nope. Which is fine.
We'll never
You're retired. Good. Be that way. Don't come back. I hate when you retire.
We'll never see that. He interfered with Daniel Bryan. We'll never see that dream match of trainer versus student. We'll never see it. Okay? We will never see Austin versus Hogan, both in their primes, going against each other. It's a dream match. We'll never see it.
Now another one that people keep talking about, I don't want to see. After seeing Sting against Hunter, I do not want to see Sting versus Undertaker.
Really? Are you saying that Sting can't go?
Yeah. He looked tired. It's run its course. 5 years ago,
right,
would have probably been bad, but would have been better than next year. But will we have it? Sure. Will I watch it? Of course. Will I enjoy it?
You don't know.
Don't know.
Now, I mean, and then they're saying also with Undertaker's contract coming up, what happens with that? Or is he going to get? I mean, they're saying he'll get a Legends contract, but it'll be above and beyond what the normal Legends contract is. But will he renew a wrestling contract and have another match? It's Texas. Will they
I think
just
that should be it for him.
at Texas?
Yeah.
Or with Bray Wyatt?
No, I think Texas should be it. Hall of Fame Saturday night, final WrestleMania match.
There you go. He'll be the second person to go in as an active wrestler.
Yep.
There you go.
That should be it. I mean, that should be it. That's your draw.
Yeah.
Come see WrestleMania. Order WrestleMania 32
Yep.
because you will never, ever, 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 which can be a lie
Ever.
because it's wrestling,
It's true.
but you should never see Undertaker wrestle again. So you put wrestle in there. You don't say we'll never see Undertaker,
right.
but never see him wrestle again. Come
Right.
see Undertaker's last match ever. That's a draw by itself. Goodbye Street, know that Street? It's his last match ever. See, we was on Hogan, Austin, and now we're talking about Undertaker. So it could go anywhere.
It could go anywhere. That's how top rope mentality works. But
Let's
we want
talk
to continue
about,
talking
yes.
about the 100 wrestling pay-per-views you must see before you fall over and die. With their key matches, number 85 is NWA/WCW Starrcade 1988.
Remember this one?
Key matches. I wasn't born yet, I don't think, because it wasn't in October. Ric Flair versus Lex Luger for the NWA World Title.
Luger had Flair beat, but this is when they were in a state that doesn't allow blood. Luger's forehead was cut, and the referee called the match because of blood. And Luger did not win the title. He had him in the torture rack, and Flair was in. Tommy Young rang the bell, and everybody thought Luger won when they announced the blood. And that
So
was
that's
the
it.
match.
That's a good way to end a match there. And you continue on with the storyline
That's right.
that way. But at the same time, I guarantee you, Flair carried Luger and made him look great.
Of course.
The Midnight Express.
And you can see that on the network for $9.99.
And the Midnight Express taking on the original
Midnight
Midnight Express.
So you had the feud between the managers, Paul E. Dangerously and Jim Cornette.
Exactly. And then you have Rick Steiner versus Mike Rotunda for the NWA World Television title. Is this before or after they were both part of the Varsity Club?
This was before.
This was before. Very interesting.
This was before.
Interesting. Next.
Next was ECW's Guilty as Charged, 1999, which you can see on the network.
On the network.
Key matches: Taz versus Shane Douglas for the ECW Championship. Tajiri versus Super Crazy. Rob Van Dam versus Lance Storm for the ECW TV title.
Number 83, because I hate Roman rules, he's going to help me out with this. WWE WrestleMania 24. Our friend John R. was there live
He
as
was
people got
there.
burned with the fireworks. Lawsuit, lawsuit, lawsuit.
It's a WWE, let's sue them.
Exactly. Key matches was Ric Flair in a career threatening match.
If you lose, you retire.
Taking on Shawn Michaels.
I love you. Super
It's like, I'm sorry. Oh, I love you. Super King. The Undertaker taking on Edge for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Floyd Money Mayweather, the reason that Michelle Beadle no longer supports the WWE because he's a wife beater, taking on the Big Show. Isn't that crazy?
It is. How many people that Big Show
Triple
lost
H.
to has lost to it?
Triple H your support Floyd Money Mayweather. So because you personally support this guy, I will no longer support wrestling.
So Jerry Lawler could only got one WrestleMania moment out of all WrestleManias. The Big Show loses to Floyd Money Mayweather, Akebono, Undertaker, I mean,
There's a lot of them.
there's a lot of people. John Cena.
But he beat Cody Rhodes for the Intercontinental title
He beat Cody Rhodes for the title. Sorry,
and
Cody.
got his WrestleMania moment.
Sorry, Cody. Number 82, CMLL, Final Justice 2000.
No, you gotta say that. You gotta say the actual order. That's fine.
Juicio finale.
Which apparently means Final Justice.
I think it was Final Justice, yeah, 2000.
Juicio.
Juicio
You thought Juicio.
is justice.
You thought Juicio.
So Justice Final is Final Justice.
Yes, all their Mexico, their words are always backwards.
Very bad.
They are.
Booyaka, booyaka. Key matches: Atlantis versus Villano 3. Shocker. And
It's a 6-man, actually.
Shocker and Mascara Anno 2000. And Scorpio Jr.
You
versus
realize who this person is?
which one?
This next person in the verse.
Hiro Agino.
Is that the one just died?
Is that the one who just
I
died?
think so, yeah.
Tarzan Boy and Rayo D. Almost like Justice, but it's not. Jail Seiko.
I'm just glad you get the bad names. Usually I get the Japanese bad ones. The Mexican names are just as hard.
They are.
Number 81, WWE Vengeance 2005.
You got that one because it says 2005.
I did. No Roman numerals of this. Batista taking on Triple H. Hell in a Cell World Heavyweight Championship match. Kurt Angle taking on Shawn Michaels.
Wow, look at that, the main event.
Isn't that interesting?
I guess. No, it probably wasn't the main event. Because me and that guy was in it. I bet you Batista
World,
Triple H.
Hell in a Cell was the main event. Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Was that a triple threat or was that a misprint and there was actually a 2-on-1? I don't know. But that was when he was.
You can watch it on the internet for.
On the network.
Network for.
But Angle and Shawn, I wonder if this was like right after WrestleMania? I don't know. Because WrestleMania was the first time, so this was after that, of course. I don't know if it was right after. But John Cena took on Christian and supposedly in a triple threat against Tyson Tomko for the WWE title. I thought they would have done a 2-on-1 handicap match, but I guess
you can watch it on the network and
there
find
you
out.
go.
As long as you're watching SummerSlam 1990, you can watch Vengeance 2005
Exactly.
and see all the questions that are not answered on this Top Rope Reality Special.
Exactly.
Part 4.
Part 4.
Heinz 57.
Heinz 57. It's so tasty.
Should we announce the winner, or should we go over the 40 ranked from worst to best?
If you continue to listen to us, at the end of this, you will find out who the winner of the Intercontinental Tournament is. Exactly. So
we're going to go over the 40 wrestlers ranked from worst to best.
don't freak out.
No, we're not doing 40.
Only 3.
Doing 3. 3 a week. And this
Don't
one we're going to do
freak
40, 39, and 38.
Freak out. Freak out.
Number 40, The Ascension. Chronic and Victor.
Did you say?
Chronic, yeah. Connor and Victor. Chronic is somebody
And
totally
right
different.
now, Brian Adams is rolling over in his grave. That you even compared him to that guy.
They're about the same.
No.
Ascension, Demolition, Road Warriors, Chronic,
Not at all.
American Males,
American males. American males.
Blue Bloods, Hall of Heat. Okay, they're all the same. They're tag teams.
Steiner Brothers. Okay.
The pros for The Ascension. Connor and Victor.
Thank you.
The former NXT Tag Team Champions with the longest reign in that title's history. They have an intimidating look. Kind of.
Kind
And a great entrance. Maybe.
of. Kind
The cons. Weak-looking tag team finisher.
of. The high-low. Fall of
Fall of
man.
Man. Resembles the Road Warriors too much. Not really.
They tried.
And shoulder pads and
They
more
tried.
makeup.
They tried.
And talk. Number 3, have barely been pushed since debuting on WWE main roster. That
They
is true.
compared themselves to the Road Warriors, and they said,
Yeah.
never mind.
When they did that, the rug was yanked out from underneath the Ascension, and they have been losing a big time.
Because they had the whole thing with the Road Warriors. I mean, the Road Warriors. Because I'm thinking Road Dogg. The dead gum,
Yeah,
New Age Outlaws.
They beat them.
And then after that, it was like, Lucha Dragon's going to beat you every week for the next 2 years.
But there is a program that could be coming up with a new tag team, but we're gonna see if it comes together.
Yes, because we called it already.
And I hope it is. So we'll see if that.
We called 2 things already.
We'll see if it shows up in the future.
2 things.
I don't know. You next, number 39.
39, Zach, the internet champion writer.
Poor Zack Ryder.
The pros, he managed to become incredibly popular all by himself with his internet show.
Oh, that's a death. That's a death.
Number 2, he has lots of charisma. He does have that. Number 3, he's a natural comedy character. And Vince loves comedy.
He does weird comedy. He's squishing on a baby hand. I mean, I guess whatever.
And a lot of vomit.
A lot of vomit.
The con, he was de-pushed severely by WWE management because he could get over by himself. So the pro, not the prawn. What is a prawn?
Same as Chronic.
The pro and the con is basically the same exact thing. Number 2, he rarely appears on WWE programming anymore.
Unless he's a squash, which we love squash matches.
We do love squash matches, but we didn't mean that way.
No.
You know? Number 3, and when he does, it's losing in quick fashion, which is AKA squash match.
Number 38, Alicia Fox.
She's so foxy.
I've seen her very much on TV.
No, she did that whole crazy throwing soda on everybody.
Which
and she was
worked. Pros, solid in the ring.
She is solid with that daggone axe kick.
2, one of the nicest WWE talent you will ever meet. Really. 3, has
haven't
lots
met
of
her, so I don't
experience.
know.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know.
She's been in WWE for a long time. She does have experience.
Cons has been booked inconsistently and has switched alliances too many times. She has.
All women have done that in the
Yes. Number 2, no clear gimmick or creative decision. Directions. Yes, directions.
Easy for you to say.
Iconic.
Exactly.
And 3, easily lost in the shuffle among divas. She is easily lost.
They all are.
You know, okay, we're going to pick you. You're on TV for 2 months. Okay, you're out of here. You are this time. Come on. No,
Well, have you not seen where that former writer of the WWE said that they actually told the writers that there's no heels and no faces when it comes to the women. They're just women. And they all seem to get crazy gimmicks. AJ Lee, she was crazy. Mickey James, she was crazy. Alicia Fox went crazy. Victoria, she was crazy. And the list. Luna Vachon, Paige. And the list goes on.
I know.
They're all, I mean, what do they really think, I mean, about women? My gosh.
These bitches be crazy.
Apparently. What he said.
It's probably written on a big whiteboard.
Right
Bitches be crazy.
When they go out
Yes.
and gorilla. What he said. Okay? On the whiteboard.
Yes.
That's horrible, though. I mean,
It is horrible.
let's come up with some different gimmicks. I mean, not every other guy is, oh, he's crazy.
Well, let's see what happens to Horse Face when she gets up there.
Hey, now. Leave her alone. Brooke Hogan would never wrestle on the WWE. Ha-ha! Turn it around on you.
I don't know. Hogan's got creative control. His daughter may become Divas champion. Brother.
Brooke Hogan versus Stephanie McMahon because we couldn't get Ronda Rousey.
Oh, my Lord.
That's the biggest WrestleMania of all time.
No, yeah, stop putting butts in the seats.
Woo, I'm telling you right now, people are changing the channel.
I know,
Not
they're
to the show. Away from the show.
Yes.
But ladies and gentlemen, before we leave, we want to tell you the winner of the March Macho Madness Tournament in April and in May.
Starting in April and ending in May.
And he is the greatest Intercontinental Champion according to TRR, Top Rope Reality.
Is it the Macho Man Randy Savage? Or is it the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels? And the winner is...
Shawn Michaels. That's when he pointed to me.
That's why I pointed to you.
Because you want to do the Vincent Man. Now I'm a little dizzy.
You're one of those.
Yes, Shawn Michaels. I know controversy creates cash, right? Because everybody's going to be like, oh, how did you do this?
Well, we picked Shawn Michaels. We believe
you
Shawn
people didn't
Michaels
We did.
is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all
He can
time.
hit the super kick from anywhere.
You have to hit the elbow. That
He
was,
has
I
to
mean,
hit the elbow.
it was neck and neck.
Neck and neck.
But that is
Because
it.
the finisher finished it for us. The finisher.
The finisher. I mean, he can hit him anywhere. I mean,
He could try to do a bionic elbow, but guess what? That was Dusty's move. It was not Randy's
Right.
move. Randy's move was from the top. You got to get the man down long enough to get to the top rope. Shawn, you could be standing up. You could be, you don't even have to be dazed. You could be just talking and having a good old time, and then boom, you're knocked out. So that's what did it for us.
and in a couple of weeks, we're going to introduce our next tournament.
Should we give him the name?
We gave it to him last week. We're going to give it to him again.
Did we give him the whole name already?
Yeah, we did.
We did?
Yes.
I know you wrote it down, but I didn't know
I
we
wrote
gave
it down. We told him too, because you mentioned it. We wrote it, and we told it and everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, it will be a
Because it was kind of a joke, and he said,
It was
hey,
a
I
joke.
love
And they're
that.
like, hey, that's good. It will be a tag team tournament of sorts. Ladies and gentlemen, we will come up with the greatest tag team in wrestling.
Right.
It doesn't have to be
Nope.
specific champions, like the Intercontinental Champion is.
Nope.
It could just be tag teams across the board. He's going to pick some, I'm going to pick some. We're going to put them into a tournament.
We have 16 tag teams, the greatest tag teams of all time.
Top 16, just like we did the top 16 Intercontinental Champions of all time. Top 16 tag teams of all time across the board.
And who will be the first?
Who will be the first?
Give the name.
Teddy Long, tag team tournament winner.
Who will be the first? Oh, you know some of the names.
Ow.
You know some of the names are on there. But Teddy Long loves tag team.
He
Why
loves
not have Teddy Long's tag team tournament?
Yes.
Player.
Exactly. The Teddy Long tag
So we
team
will
tournament
start.
of Top Rope
We will
Reality.
start putting the names together.
Yes, we're going to start
in a
with
couple of weeks. Maybe starting on episode 60.
maybe.
The Top Rope Reality Teddy Long Tag Team Tournament. Spitting everywhere.
Get me back at you.
I'm getting you back.
But next week, the #1 wrestler who Hogan refused to lose against, we will go over that person. And then 5 more of the 100 pay-per-views you must watch before you croak. And then the top rope reality. Top 10 villains of all time. And we will go over 3 more of the worst to the best ranked wrestlers in the top 40. Plus, news,
Countdown!
and SummerSlam 1991. The match made in heaven.
And the match made in hell.
And a whole lot more. So, depending on what kind of news comes out this week,
Who
with
gets
all
injured?
the different wrestlers,
Who gets hired? Who gets fired? It could be all over the board.
could be everywhere.
Maybe we'll find out about Sami Zayn. Is he going to be out for 6 to 8 months, or is he going to be back sooner?
We'll find out more names
Plus,
for
we'll
Global
talk.
Force.
Plus, we'll talk about the pay-per-view Payback coming up,
Payback.
and NXT Takeover.
Yes, because that's going to be a good one. I can't remember the name of it though. Takeover something.
I know it's not something different. I know.
It is something
Threw me a
different this
curve
time.
on that one.
Threw you a curve on that one because we're never going to have to look it up. But we will talk about Payback, Takeover,
And we may have some
Global
answers.
Force.
We may have some answers about SummerSlam 1990.
We may have answers for SummerSlam 1990 for you while we talk about SummerSlam 1991.
But as always, I'm Mike Hogan,
And I'm Justin Cobb.
and we'll see you next week right here at Top Rope Reality.
Keep on clicking. It'll stick. It'll stick. It'll stick.